Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Chell Jr. Today I'm going to be talking about Rosa Parks, one of America's greatest black heroes. Rosa Parks was born on February 4th, 1913. She had a father, mother, and a sibling, which was a brother. She was the oldest of all her siblings. Her father was a carpenter, while her mother was a teacher. When her mother and father divorced, she moved to Montgomery, Alabama to live with her grandmother. She started going to school that time, but at that place, the rules were different. The whites had their own bathroom, restaurants, and the blacks had their own restroom, bathroom, and water fountains. Everything was so different. But when she started going to school, all the black children had to walk to their school. But the whites got to take the bus during that time. But Rosa Parks did not care that much during that time. But during that time, the white children also threw trash out of the window, trying to hit the black children during that time. When she started going to high school, she could not finish because of her grandmother. Her grandmother was very sick, so she had to take care of her that time. When her grandmother healed, she didn't have enough money to go back to high school, so she started doing some jobs like laundry, dishes, and helping other people with their things. Later on, she met a man who was a barber working, and then later on, those two later on got married. The man's name was Raymond Parks, and they got married very soon. During the Rosa started going back to school that time since she had enough money, so she started going to high school that time. When she finished, she started doing simple jobs like laundry, dishes, and working at a hotel and those things. She was one of the black people who got to finish their high school. On December 1st, 1955, she got on a bus since she was very tired of work she was doing. But the bus was getting filled up. But during that time on the buses, there were two different parts. The back side of the bus was for the black people, and the front side was for the white people. When the white section got filled up, the driver of the bus told Rosa to stand up so that one of the white passengers could sit on her seat instead. Rosa said no politely, so the bus driver called the police and took her to jail. So she was sentenced guilty, and she had a fine of $14, and they paid it that time. But during that time, they started a boycott, which means striking against rules. All the black people told every black person in Montgomery, Alabama to not take the buses anymore because the rules were unfair. 381 days later, which is over an year, they got answered by the Supreme Court, and they changed that rule since the bus drivers were losing a whole lot of money. So now the rule says that that the whites and blacks can sit anywhere they want on the bus. And in 1983, Rosa Parks retired from her job of being a knitter. And on 2005, she died, and her funeral was dedicated in the White House. She was the first African American that time to have a funeral in the White House. She was declared a hero of the African Americans that time. Thank you.
Beautiful narration there. Thank you so much, David Jr.